Mr. Sandman.
Song just makes me think of Stubbs the Zombie.
Oh, what's that? Why?
No, an old Xbox video game from back in the day. Original Xbox. That's why I hate that they call it the Xbox One, because it makes it you have to be like the OG Xbox, the first Xbox, not the Xbox One. You played a zombie.
That sounds familiar. I mean,
and you like could control humans by like taking off your hand.
Oh, I think you told me about this game. Someone's told me about this game.
It's like a dark comedy. It was pretty fun. I like games where you play like the bad guy.
Ooh, that reminds me. We'll get into that when we actually are talking about stuff, as opposed to the beginning thing that this is.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Hi, everybody.
Yo.
How's everyone doing today?
I hope you're doing good. I'm tired.
I'm good. I'm good today.
I have a Red Bull next to me.
Yeah, I'm waiting for mine to kick in.
Oh, is that what was in the glass? It looked like ginger ale.
Oh, yeah, it was in the glass. I didn't buy one. I didn't buy a cold one.
Yep.
You need a minute?
Oh, yeah. We'll that's how I'm feeling right now.
Cool.
I need here, let me do a little stretch. Yeah, we can get this all on the recording. Yeah. Maybe I should have done some jumping jacks before we started. It's too late now. We're already in it.
Get the blood. We can pause for a second.
Nah, that's good. How about I'll just bounce up and down on the chair like that.
Weird noises.
So how you doing?
You're good. I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah. There's one.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was loud.
That was a good pop right on my neck, yeah.
That was good.
Oh, man, it's going to be one of those weird recordings.
Good. I finished. I kept watching more of the Game Awards.
Oh, yeah?
The other day. Congratulations to all the winners.
Yeah. A while ago.
I know, I just didn't finish it.
Yeah, that's fair.
We didn't talk about it.
It's true. I mean, I kind of looked up what some of the winners were. I was just kind of more interested, like, Game of the Year. I mean, it was interesting to see. I mean, I kind of forgot all of it already. But, like, it was like, Last of Us 2 kind of swept it with something else. It was just like, it seemed like only, like, there was, like, 3 games that kind of won everything.
Yeah, like Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, that was one.
Last of Us 2. And then, like, Hades won, like, best indie.
Yeah, that's right. And then, like, I was looking at stuff for that because, like, it was like,
I feel like you'd like Hades.
I looked at some of the trailer stuff, and I don't know. That format is really hit and miss for me. That, like, over, like, kind of, like, it's because it's still it's like an RPG. I don't know. It's like it's the evolution of the side scroller. I feel, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I could see that.
It's like almost bird eye view, or no, it's like more evolution of like bird eye view. Of the old Gauntlet and stuff.
All I've heard is all the characters are really hot.
No,
I've heard that a lot. I haven't really looked into it. Because I remember reading when it was being announced and the description, I checked out. And I was like, I don't really like that kind of game.
And then what Destiny won, like Destiny 2 won. No, not Destiny 2. Oh, No Man's Sky won something for like there was like a best improvement or best online presence or something.
That'd be my vote. No Man's Sky is way better than it initially was.
Or maybe it was Destiny that won something. I don't know.
I only watch it. It's like the Super Bowl of video games for me. I only watch it for the trailers.
Oh, and it's like see what you've missed and what's coming out.
Yeah, because the trailers are always like really fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been watching. I've been keeping up on watching Star Wars Rebels.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. I'm at the beginning of season 3 right now.
Oh, cool.
And dude, you really need to watch it. It's because I was explaining to you the other day, because like Clone Wars is definitely like geared more for children, especially the beginning seasons. Mm-hmm. And then like as Clone Wars like continued on, it got a little bit more like, I don't want to say mature content, but definitely not just for kids. It was more like, I mean, yeah, it's still for kids, but it's more family, but like still like has more drama, like especially once they reintroduce Darth Maul and whatnot. And then Ahsoka's like journey in it is super fucking cool in Clone Wars, and especially the last season. which it was I kept saying Kevin Filoni on the last one, which is the new guy that's been kind of like really taking a lot of charge for stuff. His name is Dave Filoni. Which I was saying Kevin Filoni because the first time I saw him and I didn't know his name, I thought it was Kevin Pollock. Who what would you
kind of see that?
Do you know who you know who I'm saying? Kevin Pollock. Okay. Yeah. And so like when I was like, dude, Kevin Pollock is like a huge Star Wars guy? That's crazy. And then they kept saying Dave Filoni. I'm like, who the fuck's Dave Filoni? I was like, oh, it's the guy that
I got it wrong.
All right. Okay. I get it now. I get it.
And I've been watching a lot of whose line is it anyway?
Oh yeah? Like the
Drew Carey one.
The old Drew Carey one? Oh wow.
That's on HBO Max.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Just been binge watching.
Do they have all of the the newer ones with like Aisha Taylor?
I don't know. What's her name? I just started with season 1 and then just it's kind of like good background.
Oh, I totally get that, dude. I watched the crap out of that when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's still pretty funny.
Looking up what her name? Because she, do you know who I'm talking about? The new host.
Yeah, the new
Black
host.
Girl.
Yeah.
She's the voice of Lana on Archer.
Oh, that's why I recognize her voice.
And she's also the paleontologist. This other doctor scientist that Ross Charlie. Thank you.
Yeah.
Aisha Tyler.
No, I haven't really watched that one.
I mean, I
don't know if it's even on there.
Oh man, I'm gonna be stuttering a lot today. My brain is really fried.
He's tired.
Yeah. I actually kind of like the one with Aisha Tyler a little bit more because they actually go a little bit because when it was on ABC, I felt like they had a little bit more restrictions. Like they were a little bit more like trying to be more family friendly. And when it went to CW, strangely enough, it was still family friendly, but they had a lot more like innuendos and more adult jokes coming out of it. And it's still Colin and Ryan and Wayne Brady and then whoever the
special guest for that episode is.
And like, something like Wayne Brady is gone and whatnot, but like they have a larger rotating cast of people.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've just been watching that a lot. And then I finally started watching the third season of Westworld.
I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes of Westworld and was like, this is really interesting, and then never went back into it.
It's confusing. Especially now with the season. I'm like, it's been so long since I watched the second season. I'm still like trying
It's like, I already know like all of the really big twists because so many people are watching it when I wasn't. And like, it's been around for so long that like, I'm going to get exposed to it, just like reading stuff and like blah, blah, blah. So like, as I'm watching it, I'm kind of like, oh, I already kind of know like there's supposed to be a weird mist. Like if I would have watched it when it was first coming out,
like airing.
Yeah. I think I would have been like really into it. And then like, cause all of the, like, kind of like, when people were like, as Game of Thrones was, airing, like I was lucky enough to not really know a lot of big spoilers for Game of Thrones. And I jumped on the bandwagon with that right at the end of season 5, when John gets fucking Caesared. But I did know about the Red Wedding. Like I had watched, that was the one episode I had watched was with a friend in Spokane, and it was the Red Wedding. And he's like, are you ever gonna watch this? I'm like, I don't know, maybe. He's like, well, this is like a really big spoiler episode.
I don't remember the Red Wedding at all.
You don't?
And then everyone
Rob Stark's wedding?
Don't remember it all.
Like, what do you like? Do you what do you mean you don't remember?
I don't remember watching. I know what happens.
Okay,
I don't remember watching it though. Huh. I don't know what happened there.
Well, being the first episode of Game of Thrones I ever watched, it was pretty memorable. It was like, wow, everybody just fucking died. That was crazy.
Okay, yeah. It's starting to kind of come back.
Yeah, because like you, like especially like you're kind of like at the first season, you're expecting Ned Stark is going to be like the main character through all of it, and then his head gets chopped off, and you're like, what the fuck? They just killed Ned.
That's when I stopped watching it the first time.
Oh, because you were just mad about that.
I was so pissed.
That's
like,
hilarious.
Can we stop killing Sean Bean? Can we just stop killing him and everything? I like him. I like him a lot as an actor. I want him to continue to be in the series.
So you're invested when he dies, okay? That's what all that means.
Anytime I see Sean Bean, I'm like, when do you think they're going to kill him? Halfway through beginning.
But
It's inconsistent with him too.
and because I mean, and then they set up Robb Stark to be that character. Like they had apparently in the books there isn't like Robb Stark, like his whole like campaign is like mentioned through like all the other characters, but there's no actual like narrative story of like through Robb Stark's point of view of it.
Oh, that's weird.
Which is interesting
Because those books are hard to read.
The books are, I
have the first one, and
I tried to, and
I got
I
like
just
a quarter through it, and I was like,
yeah, like I don't really. It's cool that it's like from each person's perspective, and you kind of like see everything unfold in different ways. But I kind of like, I don't know, I like that traditional like story where like it's chapter 1, and you kind of maybe you see one person's point of view through this journey. And then like but like the narrative kind of like goes linear as opposed to like chunk that, it's kind of like you're piecing it together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think the problem with that too is that because it's the same not the same, it's a different narrative of the same events over and over again.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that
it gets kind of monotonous.
Yeah, because even like Witcher, the book, at least the first one that I'm reading, is they're almost like each chapter is like a little short story about what's going on, and you're not exactly sure where they fall with each other, but it's still interesting.
Yeah, okay.
But to hear the same story over and over again, I was like, screw this. Like, I'm just going to watch this show.
No, exactly. And that's like, I remember when I was a kid, like I was really into Animorphs, and every like 7 or so books, they would do like a really big one where, as opposed to it was like you were following one character's narration, it was like all of like each chapter was a different narration. And there would be kind of moments where like if they were like on one of the spaceships or like doing something, fighting the aliens or whatever, like you would see it from one person's point of view, and then like from another person's point of view you would kind of see it, but it was still linear. Like I don't know. And like
imagine if the show was like that.
I mean, the show kind of was like that.
No, I mean Game of Thrones, where it's the same fucking thing.
Oh, it was like one episode, like you just like what they did in Arrested Development season 4. I haven't seen the
I don't remember that.
That was the first one on Netflix. They like, if I remember correctly, they recut it together to make it kind of like a linear thing, but it was each episode was from one person's story.
Oh yeah. But we were actually talking about that the other day. The whole Arrested Development Netflix takeover didn't
pan out very well.
No.
I actually still haven't even finished.
I don't think I did either.
The original Arrested Development.
Wait, you never finished the original one?
I always get like, I just need to pick it back up because I always get to the point of of Mr. F. And once you find out what Mr. F is or what it stands for, and then I just somehow kind of fall off of it, and I don't know why or how.
I think I'm gonna rewatch it. Fallon was talking about possibly getting into it.
I would love to rewatch it.
I think I'm gonna rewatch it.
I don't know if I shouldn't rewatch it. I need to finish, so I need to just start from season 3.
I didn't realize there was only 3 seasons, and in the 4th season it got swapped over.
I know there's a 5th season, isn't there?
I have no idea.
And they're working on a movie or something as well. I think the movie would be the end of it, though.
The first part should have been the end of it. They shouldn't have kept it going.
The 3 seasons?
Yeah.
Well, they wanted there to be another season, regardless.
I didn't think they tied it up.
I mean, I don't know how it ends, or season 3 ends.
I remember them liking the ending. Did you hear about Amazon is making a Lord of the Rings series?
No.
Yeah. That takes place like way before even Bilbo gets the ring.
So it's going to be like how the rings were made, maybe?
I don't know. It's kind of like hush-hush at the moment. But I don't know.
Someone pull out their Silmarillion. Did I pronounce that right? Silmarillion? Is that right?
Yeah.
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 But Rufo has the Silmarillion.
Does he really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know if he's read it. I saw a post the other day. There's someone's like, I just finished reading the Silmarillion. Now I want to read the rest of the books. Should I pick up with Lord of the Rings or should I pick up The Hobbit? And someone's like, I just read The Secrets of the Universe. Should I read about... Oh, I forget what the joke was. It was like, should I read about how we build houses or should I read about how we make... It's just like...
Walk to a volcano. But I'm excited for that. I think I just Game of Thrones made me think of that because actually Game of Thrones is planning on doing another spin-off.
I just saw kind of a preview trailer for that on with my HBO Max.
It's about the Targaryens, right?
Targaryens?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be...
It's about the Mad King and everything?
I think it's going to be about the Mad King, yeah. That's what it kind of seems like.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be cool to see who...
I'm just curious about the casting.
Yeah, same.
That's gonna be fun. Be like, because I feel like with that too, the casting would be really good. You'd be like,
Well,
oh,
I mean, because
shit.
are they gonna cast Jamie, like, who I can't remember his name, the actor's name? Are they gonna like do like the young age on him? Are they gonna cast a younger actor to play Jamie and Cersei? Because Jamie killed the Mad King.
Yeah.
During it, so well, I wonder if it'll be the rise of the Mad King.
I think that'd be more interesting.
Yeah, because if you go into Robert's Rebellion, but there was also like there's so much interesting lore inside of Robert's Rebellion. Because I mean, you only got to hear. I guess you kind of got the gist of it at the end of Game of Thrones. You don't really like. You find out that Robert. Oh God, Lyanna was actually not in love with Robert and actually in love with the Targaryen guy. I can't remember his name.
There's too many names.
Yeah, right.
There's too many.
That's right. I guess Robert.
Anytime we talk about it, it's like that guy, the girl that did that thing.
I guess actually all of Robert's Rebellion and like the death of the Mad King and all that is kind of wrapped up all in A Song of Fire and Ice. The books of what they originally are. The Game of Thrones is actually book 3.
Just a lot of fantasy stuff coming up, and because even with the fantasy thing, you're playing Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah,
jumping on that bandwagon, which I'm.
Let's see how long it lasts.
I don't think it's gonna last very long. Just because it's just weird because you weren't ever really an Elder Scrolls.
I've never
person.
been an yeah.
So that might be why you like it.
Because I've never played an Elder Scrolls game yet.
Yeah,
it's like this is like my exposure to Elder Scrolls. I'm like, oh, it's fun.
Well,
it's reminding me like it's Bethesda, so like it's just and all I've been doing is really just like fetch missions in a way, which
is Elder Scrolls.
Really? Okay.
A lot of fetch missions.
I mean, but that's also what Fallout is.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
what all the. I mean, that's all.
It's Bethesda.
That's all fucking Witcher is.
Yeah.
Hey, I need you to do this. Cool. I need this. Whatever, random artifact. Okay. A lot of it's around Gwent cards.
Gwent? Oh, then Witcher?
Yeah. But I don't know. I think it was like if you were with Elder Scrolls, I think that like I play it for my fix.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want to play Oblivion again because I played it so many times. Not really don't want to play Skyrim again.
You've done everything pretty much in Skyrim.
Yeah, I'm just over it. And the other one's not coming out for like another year or two. Yeah. So it's like I'll play it, but it's like as egotistical and maniacal and stupid as it might be, I'm not important in online.
Oh, because
you can't be everything.
Okay.
I like being that.
I mean, so with the Greymore download, you can become
a vampire thing, right?
Yeah, so mine just automatically started out with that storyline.
They had to pay for that. Oh, did you get like the deluxe edition or whatever?
I have all of the downloads. Okay. So it automatically started me in the Greymore storyline. So I'm already on West Skyrim.
Can you become a vampire now?
Not yet. I mean, you can.
Is the option there?
Yeah. Oh, okay. You can become a vampire or a werewolf.
I wonder if they have the vampire lord thing in there.
I don't know, but right now I'm hunting down some vampire cult that's like this main mission for Greymore.
Oh, if you can become a vampire, I got to change my character again then.
Why?
Can
only certain races become vampires?
It's just because the character I made to play with you is an Argonian, and they're very resistant to disease and poison and stuff. So it's hard to make them into like a vampire or werewolf.
So then fucking take the challenge.
It sounds annoying.
Well, who cares? I mean, once you actually become a vampire as one of those, wouldn't that be even more badass?
A vampiric Argonian? I never played as a vampiric Argonian before.
Well, I don't even know what the fuck that word means.
Argonian?
I know what it means, but like
lizard people.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And the Khajiit are the cats.
Yeah.
And then the rest are
elves and humans.
And Bretons and Nords and...
Oh, yeah, there's an orc.
An orc, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really curious how long you're gonna last on that. I don't think it's gonna be very long.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I played the crap out of it. Like I got up to level 9 in that one session.
One session until 8:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
I
mean, it'd be nice to play with somebody that's actually played the games because I feel a little bit lost on like item collection or like weapon stuff and whatnot. Like I don't know. Because like it seems very slow to like upgrade your stuff unless I'm like doing the extra event campaign stuff.
Oh, where they give you like more like experience points for X amount of time or whatever.
Well, no, it's just like getting better weapons and armor.
Mm-hmm.
because like I can like go and like buy a piece of armor that's like better for my level, and then like put enchantments and stuff on it. But that feels like it takes a lot long. I mean, I guess that's how you would want to like personalize your own stuff eventually.
Yeah,
but being like
that's just MMO.
I haven't had
a lot of time.
I haven't had more than 500 gold pieces on my body or on my character at a time. So I'll get like 500 gold pieces, and I'm like, oh, I got to repair all my equipment. Let's see if I can buy a new piece of equipment or a new sword.
I wonder if it's one of those games where it's not really worth it to buy anything. Just once it breaks, drop it and pick up something else. For at least
but
the
like,
beginning.
there's like no weapons anywhere getting dropped.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I'm literally like I've rarely picked up pieces of armor. Like, I mean, I've picked up armor more often. That is like maybe a little bit better than what I have here and there. But I've literally, like, the beginning of the game, a bunch of weapons where I could pick a bunch of weapons, but then like they were all like level 1 weapons because I was
rusty longsword and shit like that.
Yeah. So, but like, actually, one of them I don't know if it was, maybe it was a rare or whatever, but I got a axe with with shock damage on it. And actually, I'm dual wielding 2 axes with shock damage, which is pretty cool.
Because you're like a night elf or
night.
You're a dark elf
night blade. Yeah. And I'm enjoying the dual.
Which I thought was funny
stuff.
when you told me that we were playing as. I was like, that's what I was going to recommend for you to play as.
I mean, when I did a little bit of research on stuff, I was like, this kind of seems
your play style.
Yeah.
Oh, random. I was talking a while. I can't remember how long ago it was, but I started talking about a game and then could give you no information about it. It's on pre-download on Game Pass for the new Xbox Series, whatever the hell it is. But it's called Medium. The Medium. And that's where you play. It's where the split screen, but you play by yourself, and you play in 2 different like parallel worlds.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And to solve puzzles, it's like a survival like horror game, I think.
Interesting.
And to solve puzzles, you need to jump between
the worlds.
These 2
with
parallel.
The controlling. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I mentioned it.
I mean, yeah.
And I was like, I don't know the name, and I don't. Yeah, but yeah. But you should check out a trailer for that. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, excuse me, I had a yawn. Do you want to talk a little bit about Wonder Woman?
Sure. Yeah, Wonder Woman 1984.
What'd you think?
I loved it.
Really?
I really liked it, especially I think it's because my bar for DC movies is so low. Not saying anything bad about the movie. That's not what I mean. I just mean that I really just thought at first. Well, for sequel number 1, superhero sequel, and for the fact that DC hasn't really been killing it with their movies, just not objectively, in my opinion. But I just thought Wonder Woman 84 was really fun, and I really enjoyed it, and I absolutely love her as Wonder Woman.
No, yeah, Gal Gadot is amazing as Wonder Woman. Like,
love talking shit about her.
What do you mean?
She's just so fucking pretty.
Oh yeah, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, Val and I were just talking shit. It's like she's upsettingly pretty.
That's why she's like a perfect cast for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she's wonderful, and she was like, I just like too. She was in the Israeli army.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's just she won Miss Israel. She's just a badass of a person, and then playing a badass superhero. I was like, fuck you, in the nicest way possible. She's great.
I thought it was okay. Really? I enjoyed it. I checked out quite a bit every now and then. Pedro Pascal was so fun to watch. Yeah, watching him fall the fuck apart.
He was interesting to see his face. That was weird. I was sitting there for a second. I was like, "Oh shit, Mando, what's up?" Right? But then also, he looks so much like Nathan Fillion. That's his name, right?
Yeah, from Firefly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
I never had to think about especially that. Clean shaven and the hair and the suit and everything. I was like, huh, he looks so much like Nathan Fillion. It's ridiculous. I'm not sure which one's older, so one looks like the other. I don't know.
Oh, Nathan Fillion's definitely older.
Okay, but it was just like that trip.
Also, Nathan Fillion's like super gray now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's a Silver Fox now.
I haven't seen a picture of him forever. But yeah, that was my observation, and he was great watching him fall apart. And I wasn't angry about Cheetah.
I think like Kristen Wiig did a good job. I didn't like the portrayal of Cheetah.
Like she becomes
round, or the way that they made the character.
I don't know
because
enough
I
about
know
Cheetah.
like I was reading the history about Cheetah before it, and I'm like kind of reminding myself because I knew like there was like there's 3 different cheetahs, and the one that I always found the most interesting was the
There's
split.
3.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't read about her because I didn't want to spoil any of the movie, if that makes sense. Because we like, you watch a Batman movie or Spider-Man. It's like, oh yeah, okay, so we know Bruce Wayne's parents. You just know a lot. So the movie kind of, I was like, I want to go in this with not knowing anything about.
They kind of made their own cheetah in this. But
So who are the original 3?
I didn't bring stuff up. But there's one of them that has a split personality, and that's the first one.
Okay.
Which that's actually the one that I find the most interesting.
Okay. And did they look like a cheetah?
The first one, it was just an outfit.
Okay, just a costume.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, it's pretty much like the Green Goblin type thing. When she went to her split personality, she all of a sudden had these like new abilities.
Oh, it was like the personality had the abilities.
Yeah. Second one I can't remember too much about, but it was the third one that they did base her off of, Barbara, whatever, I can't remember her last name. But it was literally, it seemed like they just kind of took the name of the character, an idea of the second one who was friends with Diana, and or maybe and they just kind of made their own cheetah. And I was like, okay, so I was kind of like, okay, let's see what they do with it. And we should definitely say spoilers here because it is so new.
It is very new.
It is very new. So we'll put spoilers on the front of our on our tag as well, so people know when we're talking about Wonder Woman. If you don't want spoilers, maybe fast forward.
Yeah.
Or we'll keep it kind of vague as well. But I just didn't. I guess just to keep it vague. Sorry, I didn't like how Cheetah's story ended in the movie.
I didn't get it.
You didn't get it?
Not really.
Well, like, can you like say without like spoiling?
Because of the whole rule of renouncing.
Okay.
Is that vague enough? But do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because of the shot that they did,
and
then the renouncing rule. And,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, that doesn't make
the
sense
whole
to me.
renouncing rule I thought was kind of a stupid thing as well. Like, really? It's just okay.
Yeah, I just thought that was weird. I did like mainly how ferocious they made Cheetah and the fight scene.
No, yeah.
Which I
it was really interesting to see Kristen Wiig in a role like that too.
I didn't think she was gonna be able to pull it off at all, honestly.
Oh no, she's a great actress actually.
And then no, I think she's great. I thought it was just so out of left field for her that I just thought I don't know, I just didn't think it was gonna pan out very well. But I thought I really enjoyed her, and I really liked, like I was saying, the ferocity, but it had that kind of letdown of what happens in a lot of like superhero movies where, Cheetah's a huge Wonder Woman villainess that she, has been fighting for 50 years. It was just really short.
It was 2.5 hours.
No, the fight, their fight.
Oh, okay.
no, their fight was just like bop, bop, over, and I was like, oh, okay. But I did like she was an unrelenting apex predator.
Yeah.
And the whole with the armor, and I was like a bird and a cat fighting. But yeah, I mean,
there was a lot of elements of the story that I felt was pretty rushed as well in the movie, which I think that's kind of what took me out of it. But like you said it pretty well. Like, it is enjoyable, but I mean, and also like out of the DC movies, it's probably one of the better ones.
I also say that, and I have to also preface with the fact that I haven't seen Man of Steel yet.
You've never seen Man of Steel?
Mm-mm.
Really?
I'm going to now, mainly because my my frothing hate of Superman has subsided in my older age.
Okay.
Where I don't hate him as much as I used to.
What do you know what that is? Why that is?
I don't care.
You just lost the passion.
I lost the passion.
Okay.
Mainly only I think it's because Superman over the years has become more of an interesting. I found Superman to be very like 2-dimensional.
I mean, at surface value, he is, but
and then I started reading more of his storylines, and like Kingdom Come and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, if he becomes more interesting, I think, when he's with more characters, more heroes.
Yeah,
not when he's by himself. When he's by himself, he is very. It's like, of course, he's gonna win the day. But I guess which one is Kingdom Come?
Shit, who wrote that? Like the cover, it's green and they're all older.
Okay,
it's after.
Okay, yeah. I think
they're all like in their like 60s and 70s.
You would probably also like this Death of Superman arc, just see Superman die.
Doomsday?
Know? Yeah.
Yeah, I've read Doomsday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But then they get all the clone shit and the cyborg and the like up to him dying is awesome. In like a really morbid way. I mean, it like, whoa, but I mean, like, that's a really good story arc. And then they come into like focusing on Steel and Superboy and the cyborg Superman, and then he shows up with this flowy long hair. I don't know, the whole that's when I usually check out. I'm like, I'm good now. I'm done.
All right, fair.
But no, I really thought it was really enjoyable. I love Chris Pine. Chris Pine.
Steve.
Yeah, I think I really like him.
Him coming back, that was just such a weird thing. Like that.
His fashion show was funny as
that
hell.
I did laugh a good amount of
time.
That.
Just goes, God, he got old. I was like, yeah, for a dead guy, he didn't age very well. But I think he's really funny.
When I look at you, it's all I see.
Oh yeah. I was like, shut up. But yeah, he has a little fashion show in it where he's like,
I mean, that's in the previews of it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I don't remember seeing a trailer for this.
Oh,
I just knew that Cheetah was in it. And is Max? Is he a new character? Do you know, or is he like?
I wasn't familiar with his villainy.
I was kind of hoping he would become like this big like. I can't really say without spoiling, but never mind.
You thought he was going to become something more?
Yeah, I thought he would be something more, and I was kind of hoping he would, like with all the power.
I don't think he's an original. You
think he?
I don't think he is an original creation for the movie. I think he is. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, you got that.
Yeah. I think he is part of. I think there is a character for him in the DC universe somewhere.
Okay. Yeah.
When first introduced, I was like, this guy reminds me a lot of Black Mask.
It depends on which Black Mask I guess you're talking about.
Suicide Squad Black Mask, really. Ewan McGregor.
Oh God, yeah. I thought he was one of the best parts of that movie.
I need to watch a movie again.
He's like a germaphobe. Yeah. He's just like creepy and weird with like temper and that was another one. Like the same thing. I didn't think Ewan McGregor's Black Mask would work, but then he made it work somehow. I watch Birds of Prey.
I guess he wasn't really Black Mask in a lot of ways.
Not yet. Yeah. Really. Yeah. Well, just because Black Mask is one of those kind of like DC villains people forget about that's really interesting.
Yeah.
He's a pretty interesting bad guy. Yeah. I mean, all in all, I'd give Wonder Woman like a B-.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, definitely watch it.
Maybe a C+ for me. I don't know.
It's
better than definitely somewhere in the B's because
we watched the first one afterwards.
I really like the first one.
I don't like the first one still.
Interesting.
I don't know what it is. I just can't get into it. But this one I got really into.
There's definitely more of like the first one, there's definitely like a big arc for Diana is her hero complex, learning that she can't really save everyone. Mm-hmm. She's still very naive to this, like she can save a lot of people, but she's very naive to what war really is and the effects of war on everyone else. I feel like there's a lot more of a learning character arc for Diana in the first one than in this one. There wasn't really much of an arc for anyone in this movie. Like Diana learning to let go of the past, she has to let go of Steve type thing. Yeah,
it kind of felt like for a minute it was leaning to an arc that I was actually really excited for that it didn't really feel like it happened is the kind of like Wonder Woman has like with her like ideology falls like really well, I think, in between like her like leaguers, I guess, being like, it's like Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman are like three of the like head top of like the tier of like leaders, I guess. But it's just like with Wonder Woman, something I always really like is she will kill you.
Yeah.
She will. Like, and that's something I really like about her is like she doesn't have this. She has a very big greater good and it's not like obnoxious. Usually it's like, no, you're like, yeah, Wonder Woman, agree with you. You should definitely get rid of that guy. And I kind of felt like it was kind of leaning that way, and then it kind of fizzled out.
I feel like this DC Wonder Woman, there's a little bit more of justice over, not so much of a welcoming murder type thing. There's a little bit more of a innocence of this Diana.
Yeah.
Especially like,
I don't even want to say restraint. You're just like innocence.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't even seem like it crosses her mind, this particular one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, that's something that
because like the Diana in the Justice League like show, like she will murder somebody.
Yeah, look at Flashpoint.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's like, that's something I really liked about her, and I kind of want them to put that in there, but maybe that will make it too adult.
I mean, it's definitely, I mean,
know.
that's what they kind of, I mean, that's a hard line to really like balance when you're, because they're definitely trying to make like this whole DC universe a little bit more gritty, whatever, you know, like darker than like how the MCU has been. But there's also a point where it still is for children in a way.
That's what I'm saying. If you put
still
that,
is for the family.
yeah, if you put that aspect in it, it might make it too dark. That might just have to live in the comics and the animated series.
Yeah,
movie
which is
stuff.
still better. Which is strangely, it's still, that's for kids as well, but it's more acceptable to see that because it's animated as opposed to real life.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Well, you know, in the 90s, or the early, not just the early, it was like the 80s and 90s, like the reason why in like Spider-Man and then the Spider-Man animated series and the X-Men animated series, all of the guns are laser weapons because by FCC rules, you couldn't have any modern weapons be used. You would
It'd screw with the rating.
It would screw with rating.
That's weird.
And the only reason why Batman animated series, because they were older guns and they got away with it being Tommy guns and guns that weren't being like mass produced anymore.
And that's part of the reason that has that like 40s aesthetic to it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I love that. That's cool.
So they found a cool way to work around it and still have guns.
It's kind of a subtle
But
little...
they also, if you also, generally, most gun firing is off screen. You just see the gun, but you never really see it get shot. Or if it is getting shot,
like the
it's
trigger pulled.
It's like in the dark. It's in blackness.
Oh yeah.
You know, so like they did a lot of like interesting ways to like move loopholes around with that. Yeah,
that's funny.
And then even like He-Man or like Thundercats and stuff like that, they were allowed to have like laser guns because they weren't actual like pistols or like AKs or anything like that.
That's weird. Never put that together. I didn't even.
That was something I think I learned about that watching like The Toys That Made Us. Maybe I don't know. I watched it on some type of documentary. Or maybe it was a YouTube thing that I watched. But yeah, I remember like learning about that.
So many outward things coming in. It's hard to pinpoint where you got it from.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Random side note. I really want to see Talon be introduced.
Oh, yeah.
Like a whole Court of Owls thing.
That would be cool.
When is the Snyder Cut supposed to be coming out?
Soonish? I don't know.
Right? Okay.
February, maybe?
Okay.
So I thought it was going to be like an episodic thing.
It's not?
No, it's going to be just 4 hours.
Fuck.
Which I don't know. Maybe they will release it and like maybe it'll be all released at once, but it'll be like separated into 4 episodes.
Well, I just feel like if you were to have done a mini series style, you wouldn't have to cut out as much.
I mean, that's kind of what I mean. Where it's like if they do it as 4 episodes, it's 4 hours long, 4 episodes, just all released at once. That you can just binge if you want, or just like watch an episode or two. Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
So C+, B- for Wonder Woman, 1984.
Yeah. I mean, I was just thinking like maybe it does. Maybe I would technically give it more than a C+, because I feel like I wouldn't want to give like any of the DC movies lower than like a C- rating. Like none of them like get a D. Oh, Justice League, maybe.
I was going to say Batman versus Superman.
I actually kind of enjoy Batman versus Superman.
I enjoy Justice League way more.
I mean, really?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Because I like Flash and Cyborg.
I mean, they're cool. Maybe I'm getting those kind of confused. Why did you just say her? Why did you just say Barbara?
That and then the whole Doomsday and the Doomsday thing, like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, There's a lot.
I didn't like the Doomsday thing.
I think you will actually enjoy Man of Steel.
That's what General
Zod.
Zod. I was gonna say Krog.
I thought you were gonna say Grievous.
No, Krog from. Hello there.
No, and Michael Shannon does a great job as Zod.
Oh, is that Zod?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I don't know anything about this movie, apparently.
You will really like the casting, in my opinion.
Well, I have a big crush on
Well, you know who plays
Henry
his
Cavill.
dad, right?
Henry Cavill, huh?
You don't know? The DILF. Your DILF.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, so much eye candy. And then who's Lois Lane in that series?
Is it Amy Adams?
Yeah, Amy Adams.
Yeah.
I love Amy Adams too. A lot of attractive people.
God, I wish they would have done just better with Lois. I mean, Lois's character is always, she's always kind of like hard. She's never really. I feel like
she has her own comic line now. Or
Yeah,
she has for a while.
Yeah, but it's like all of the original Lois stuff. Like she's always just been kind of like a two-dimensional character in a lot of ways.
I don't think in the animated Superman series Lois is a badass in that.
Later,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Lois gets thrown under the bus a lot. She plays, you know what I mean? You know what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
And I really don't feel like she's a very fleshed out character in the DCEU. And she doesn't really get very fleshed out. I feel like
DCEU.
the DC
What's the E?
extended universe. Isn't that what it is?
I don't know.
That's what they're calling it, I think, is the DCEU or DC. It's not just the DCU.
It's like their MCU.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
They didn't want to call it DCCU.
I don't think
DCCU. I like that. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I watched the Witches remake.
The what remake?
The Witches.
Oh, yeah, with Anne Hathaway.
Mhm.
How was it?
I really enjoyed it, actually, for like a remake. I could see it because even like the original one, I remember being really creeped out by it.
Oh yeah.
And I think they did a really good job. It's very nice looking, like aesthetically. With the colors and just like
Does it still kind of have like that kind of like darkness feel to it?
Yeah.
Cool.
It does. That's the thing is like it's reasonably different, but still feels true
Cool.
to the original one. And the witch's design I know that caused a lot of controversy.
For the original?
No, for this one.
Oh.
Because of the way they designed the witches, a lot of people had problems with it.
Why?
So
Will that will it spoil anything?
no, because I mean they stuck true to a lot of what the witches. So they have no hair and get a wig rash that's still there. Now they have these little, like kind of like Joker slits in the corner of their mouths.
Interesting.
And it's because their mouths can actually open.
Okay.
So that's terrifying. And then when they're like kind of out of it, they have sharp teeth and a forked tongue, and they have this big, like their mouth can open up like a snake kind of thing. So that was cool. And they still have the toes that look like they were like lobbed off. So they have to wear hard shoes, but they now have like these one little middle kind of like pinky raptor toe.
Weird.
Yeah, they can like Anne Hathaway can like twirl on it, and it is unnerving, like the movement. But then with their hands, they basically don't have the two middle fingers.
Okay.
So they have the thumb, the index, and the pinky.
Is it just missing? Is it not like how it's like just three fingers type thing?
It's just like super skinny fingers on each end, and then nothing in the middle, and they have like long claws, like that. And I know that I can't remember what it is called, but there's a disability you can have where you're born like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it got in a lot of trouble for villainizing this thing. Which I mean, it's like I don't want to like upset.
People can be born with only three fingers, and you representing people with only three fingers. It's like, come on.
I don't get. I was talking to Fallon about it. It's like I don't really get it because it's like when like. And I don't want to offend anyone, but this is just kind of my opinion. It's just kind of like, well, Nightcrawler from X-Men had 3.
Yeah.
And my only thing is like, well, they're the whole villainizing thing is like, well, these characters, these monsters in this movie, they're not human.
Yeah.
They're a creature. They're something else. So it's like, I don't want to diminish anyone's feelings about it, but I thought.
But I mean, with the argument with that is that it automatically is like, if like, because they have those hands, those fingers, or something like that, it's like, oh, anybody that has that is not human, because not humans is what has that, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of like their argument, but it's also like they're trying to create like this is like these people creating something like, ooh, what's unsettling to look at, you know? That's, you know, and like, then it's like, with people with that, I'm sure like they you know, it's like at first, like, people don't know how to handle that because they're used to seeing how, you know.
Well, but also it's like it's a design.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Thank you.
And it clearly is supposed to look like they come off very snake-like. They're like snake creatures. That's kind of what they come off like. Kind of like they come up. What do I imagine when people talk about the lizard people that control the world? Is kind of like the humanoid lizard people. Is kind of what I think
like
of.
that.
But you know, it's like their fingers are erratically long, and it gives this kind of like serpent-esque kind of quality to them.
Like there's always some people are gonna always find something to like find like to I don't know. There's definitely a lot of this world that like we are learning where it's like, oh, maybe stuff like that isn't okay. Like, especially stuff that we grew up with. You're like, oh, that was definitely.
Oh, like when we watched something back in the day, you're like, how the hell did they
exactly?
Think? Yeah,
but it, you know, it's like there's also like that. What can like someone design?
Yeah, and it also just goes into like. I'm trying my very, especially like someone that does not have this like to be understanding, but at a certain point it is it's a fantasy.
Yeah.
And I don't think they were sitting around in a room being like, oh no, it would be funny.
Yeah. Also,
you know, let's offend.
I'm tired of the people that are standing up for that are ones that don't have that. Like, don't have like whatever like a problem with them or whatnot. I feel like there's just like this like group of people, especially online, that it's like
it all comes from online.
No, exactly.
Really
it's just like, and it's just like they feel like it's their responsibility to stand up for like this marginal group of people, that maybe this marginal group of people saw that and like, oh, that's really cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's like, because even if you jump back to, let's go back to 1984.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of these things did actually offend people, but there wasn't a platform in which to stand up and scream it from the rooftops.
Yes.
And it's one of those, it's at the end of the day, it's like, I don't watch South Park. I don't like it. I don't go online and rip it apart every time they do something on an episode.
Yeah. I
just don't watch it. And I think it just comes down to, all right, okay, fine. You're feeling it offended you. Cool. Whatever. Then just don't watch it. Don't try to take it away from other people. You know, it's like, no, just
unless it's like literally like blackface, you know, something that's like completely out of left, like completely unreasonable and like unethical, you know?
Yeah.
You know, like what?
To Tropic Thunder.
I wonder how many times. Oh, we should have a Tropic Thunder count.
We should just.
That's number 2. I'm pretty sure.
We should review. That is number 2. We should just review Tropic Thunder.
Let's wait once we get to 10.
Okay,
yeah.
There we go. Cool, I like that. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, even with what you're saying about that, is that it's a personal opinion.
Yeah.
So this whole hand situation with the witches, that is someone's.
Do you know if the person that wrote it was it just like that is a real thing that people have, or is it like, I have this myself and I don't feel like this is a good representation?
Oh, I don't know, actually.
That's what I'm talking about. Is that there's this is like someone speaking for a marginalized group of people, where this marginalized group of people are like, I don't really care.
Well, yeah, because I mean, but even when it comes, if you break it down to there are 2 people with this specific issue, right may not care, left will care. Yeah. I have my hands up and I'm pointing so people understand. You know, that this person might be offended, but this person might not.
Yeah.
You know?
But if there's the person, I'm saying like the person that's writing the article about it does not have that, like doesn't have like that problem with them. I don't want to say problem, but that disability or that whatever. Why do they feel like it's necessary for them to be a voice for this marginalized group of people, where maybe they don't even know anybody in that marginalized group, So they're just stepping up, being like, this is offensive to those people and to this marginalized group. While that marginalized group is just like, they're not going to speak up and like not. And some of them, like a lot of marginalized groups, will just let people argue like that. It's like, yeah, whatever. I don't really care on either side. It's like, yeah, I can see how it's offensive, but also I don't really care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like I honestly don't really.
We're going in circles right now.
Yeah, but I don't really know much about the whole
what the article was and everything.
Because Fallon was talking about it, she was reading and was telling me about it, and I was just like, I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, I'm curious about. It's a remake, and I'm curious about it.
Yeah.
But to go back to the like actual movie, Anne Hathaway was distracting.
Too pretty or something?
No. She had an accent. That was similar to the original one, and I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. I was like, you could have left that out, I guess. I don't know.
I have 2 other topics of stuff that I kind of wanted to bring up. Did you have much more?
No, that was it. I mean, I always write down a bunch of shit. And
then, so I mean, we definitely still need it. We need to talk about the season finale of The Mandalorian.
Obviously, are you guys surprised?
But. Before we do that, I've actually already want to talk about because we'll just kill it with Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Well, let me know. You can pick after what I say. It's like I've been reading a lot of I was just curious, like top 100 video games ever made. So I just kind of like read a bunch of like lists and like just found a bunch of lists and just like quickly went through it. And I found it interesting was like
lot of the game of the year.
What?
Never mind.
Oh, I see what you mean. And so what I realized is that a lot of the top 10s are, maybe even top 20s are really similar, but like generally it was like maybe a couple moved around.
Okay.
One of them I read, I was like, I forget exactly what they had as number 1, and I was like, no, this is definitely not the number 1 video game ever made. This is someone's like 100% their own opinion. So I was on. Do you want to just talk a little bit more? Do you want to talk about The Mandalorian?
I want to talk about video games. I love talking about video games.
You want to talk about video games?
I love talking about video games.
I love. And then we can finish off with Mandalorian.
Yeah, let's talk about video games.
So I was just curious.
You want to talk about video games is very exciting.
Well, I'm just curious. So this is like 100 video games of all time. So this is like going back to like fucking Atari, and all the way up to like now.
Okay.
And I was curious. I have the top 100. I'm looking at the IGN list.
Okay.
And I want to know if maybe you can guess at least 5 that are in the top 10.
From Atari to now?
Yes. Top 100 video games. Let's just start with what do you think number 1 would be? You are so
no. That's like saying what's the best book ever.
Okay, so this is for you to know. Most, like I said, most lists that I looked up, their top 10 were all very similar. Okay. So like this is actually like regarded through most of the video game world. These top 10 are generally looked at as like the best video games ever made.
Okay, well then is number 1 a Nintendo game?
Yes.
Okay. That's I had a feeling.
Do you want specific Nintendo type?
Sure.
It's Super Nintendo.
Super Mario World.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, it's got to be Mario.
And you know what? So what do you think number 2 is? Because this number 1 and number 2 actually alternates through lists.
Donkey Kong?
No. That's actually like number 40 most of the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Still with Nintendo?
Yep.
Super Nintendo?
Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite games.
Dragon Quest?
No.
I don't know if that was on the Super Nintendo.
More the Super Famicom. It was never released in America on it. It's a video game that I've been trying to get you to play, and you've been playing a version of it.
Zelda?
On this. There you go. A Link to the Past. Yes.
Link to the Past. Never
so
did.
Actually, Link to the Past and Super Mario World are generally regarded as like they kind of go back and forth as like the best video games ever made because of the way that they became innovative with when they were released at the time in the early 90s, coming from the regular Nintendo onto the Super Nintendo. And even though that you can beat the games relatively quick, there's still, it's like the nuances of everything of the game. Mm-hmm. Like storyline is fun. There's like, dude, Super Mario World has like some of the crazy, like when you defeat when you clear Star World and then you clear the second Star World and then you beat the game and you come back and like it's like wacky Super Mario World and like Mario's a turtle and shit. Like
I didn't know that.
Like there's a bunch of weird Easter eggs in like the first Super Mario World. And then A Link to the Past is just, I mean, oh yeah, that's what it was. Someone had a Ocarina of Time as the #1 game of all time, and it's like Ocarina of Time is great, but I wouldn't.
Link to the Past is better,
huh?
Link.
Yes, and a lot of people do regard Link to the Past being better. I mean, Ocarina of Time is great, and it did an amazing job for that type of that action adventure video game for coming out in the 64 and putting Zelda and Link into a 3-dimensional world, and Ganon actually into a more when they fused the Dragon Ball Z fusion dance, and then putting Ganon into an actual like character that isn't just like the pig demon and whatnot, and starting that huge Zelda lore that exists nowadays. Okay, so yeah, you got 1 and 2, and let's see if you can just guess a couple of the other ones.
Okay,
this is the IGN list.
So number 3. Oh, let's make it 3.
We were just talking about 3, and before I think we recorded actually.
When did it come out? Roughly.
Between 2010 and 2013, 2014.
PT? You said we were just talking about.
No, not PT. You're really close with the P.
Close with the P.
Yeah, like it begins with a P. Just talking about going to the moon with it.
Oh, Portal.
Portal 2.
Portal 2
is number 3.
I remember liking Portal 2 better than Portal 1.
Like I said, I don't remember playing Portal 2.
I just remember the feeling.
All right, so I'll have you guess just the next 2, and then we'll kind of go through, and I'll just kind of like list the next couple ones, and we can just discuss.
Okay, well, let's do year again for number 4, or roughly.
I'm just gonna say it's a Super Nintendo game.
Okay. Kirby?
No. It's also another one of my favorite Super Nintendo games that I've also recently played a sequel to on my DS that I was having a lot of fun with.
Oh. Dragon Quest. I don't know. I can't remember.
Let me just give it to you.
Yeah.
Super Metroid.
Super Metroid. Right. Okay.
Which also, yeah, again, another game, because the Super Nintendo has so many great classic hits on it, you know?
Yeah, but I think I'm like having a hard time too because I didn't really play.
You never played these games. I know.
No, my gaming started with the Xbox. I mean, I had a Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
but I became a longtime gamer with the original Xbox.
Maybe this is me trying to get you to learn, young boy.
I know Xbox games you don't.
All right, number 5. You've been playing this game.
I have been playing it.
Yes, it's on the Switch.
Among Us?
No. Actually, I don't think Among Us is on the list.
That won something this year. I can't remember what though. I think it actually beat Animal Crossing.
Oh, maybe it was like best like online
platformer.
Yeah.
It was like a quarantine.
Yeah, of course.
I've been playing this.
Yes. You got stuck with ice things.
Oh, Zelda?
Breath of the Wild.
Oh.
Again, because of just how innovative that game was for like Zelda and like open world and whatnot.
Oh, I was gonna say not even for Zelda, just open world exploration game. That game has some rad mechanics to it.
Oh, dude, there's like people are still discovering like I saw an article where it was like this broken physics for Zelda for Breath of the Wild will change the way you play the game.
There's like fling themselves through them.
Dude, yeah, all of the like shield surfing and whatnot is absurd.
Yeah, it's cool. They did some cool shit with that.
Okay, so yeah, number 1, this is IGN list. I think this is IGN list of 2019. Super Mario World, Link to the Past, Portal 2, Super Metroid, and Breath of the Wild. We're 1 through 5. So then, number 6 is Super Mario Brothers 3. Number 7 was Tetris. Number 8 was Half-Life 2.
Ooh, yeah.
Number 9 was the first Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah. And I think that one gave me the year for narrative. If I remember,
that doesn't surprise me.
May not be right, but I think I won, or it was at least I think it was a nominee. I don't know if it won or not.
Number 10 was Super Mario 64, which these top 10 like are literally they're on par. Like I see, I'm like I can totally see why these games are like where they're at. Like they are groundbreaking for what they were doing, and like Tetris is just amazing
This is timeless.
Yeah, like I mean, I will always love Tetris.
Yeah, I have Tetris on my Xbox.
It's like I have Tetris on every single. Anytime I have a new game system, I get Tetris on it because I know I'm gonna want to play it on it at some point.
You should get Tetris for the Switch.
There's Tetris 99 for the Switch, which have you know about? Yeah, that
fun.
I have the closest I've ever gotten to being the last one. I was number 2.
Oh,
and I've gotten number 3 a couple of times, but most of the time I land somewhere in like. I mean, you get a lot of like in like the 90s and 80s and whatnot. But if I'm actually making a good run for it, I generally get around like 20 to like 10. And all right, so 11, Grand Theft Auto 5. 12, Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Just so you know, I'm only laughing because I was just talking shit about
it. I think Grand Theft Auto 5 probably because of its online thing and like just getting to play Grand Theft Auto like online.
Online's fun.
Just finally like having Grand Theft Auto online is like really it's crazy like to be doing Grand Theft Auto like with a bunch of other people. You know what I mean?
Well, what makes it more crazy is the fact that you're doing it with a bunch of other people, but Grand Theft Auto feels like a lived-in world.
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels the city when you're cruising around and causing boom booms. It feels like it's a living city, and that's because even then it's like I'll jump on Grand Theft Auto and just fucking cruise.
Oh yeah,
it's fun just to drive around, and also it gives me a little piece of nostalgia because it's like supposed to be like it's like based on L.A.
Yeah.
The city is like equivalent to L.A. So it's fun to like cruise down what is their version of PCH down like through Malibu and stuff. I think it's fun.
But do they have Ocean Avenue on it?
I'm sure you can find an Ocean Avenue in there.
Number 12, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Have you played that?
The last Castlevania I played is where you're actually playing as Dracula. I can't remember which one that is.
Okay. I've never played Symphony of the Night. So, 13 is Halo 2.
Halo 2 is dope.
Which I've heard. I've never played the Halo series because I never had an Xbox.
Oh. They're all on. Oh, you don't. You still. When you get your Xbox, a bunch of them are on the Game Pass.
I've heard. I remember like when Halo came out, it was so huge, and I do know that Halo 2 kind of like was a game changer for.
Oh yeah, Halo 2 is a lot
for like
of fun.
the online like shooter and whatnot.
Yeah, Halo 2 is a lot of fun.
Yeah. 14 is the first Super Mario Brothers.
Okay.
15 is Street Fighter 2, which Street Fighter 2 is like the first Street Fighter doesn't really exist. It wasn't a fighter game like Street Fighter 2 was. The first Street Fighter, I technically think it has a different name, but you played as Ryu, and it was more of a walkthrough beat 'em up game.
Oh, actually. Like Twin Dragons kind of thing.
Yeah, but a little bit, but with Street Fighter graphics.
Yeah.
And then
that's what it's called, right? Twin Dragons.
Yeah. Or Double Dragon.
Double Dragon.
Yeah.
Double Dragon.
And Street Fighter 2, and also
Twin Dragons is a Jackie Chan movie.
Yes, it is. Yes, it 100% is. Street Fighter 2 also it's still a very complex combo system game. Like Mortal Kombat and like Killer Instinct and Tekken's a little bit more. I mean, that was more PlayStation, so that has its own combo stuff and whatnot. But Street Fighter really is still the gold standard for precision fighting games. And it started all with Street Fighter 2. Number 16 is Dark Souls, which makes sense. I would actually expect maybe one of the I don't know, the way that David talks about Dark Souls 3, I would expect maybe because Dark Souls just kind of started it. I guess Demon Souls technically started it. So
that's gonna be one of the first games I get from a new console.
There you go.
Demon Souls.
17 is Portal. So Portal 2 and the first Portal are within the top 20, which is cool, I think. 18 is Chrono Trigger. 19 is Doom. And 20 is The Last of Us. I'm just going to end at the 20 because I'm not going to list all 100. But I think the top 20 are actually super solid, and actually I've played almost all of them. It's actually kind of more of the newer ones I've never played. So, but yeah. You have any thoughts on that?
I was trying to find the list that you were looking at.
Just look up IGN top video games of all time.
Oh yeah, there it is. And then Last of Us. Okay. I'm gonna save this.
Just to look at later.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at that
I mean, I love going through lists like this and whatnot.
Number 100 is Pokemon Go.
Yeah. I like how low. I like that Final Fantasy VII is number 96, which I find interesting because like most like lists like this, they'll have like Final Fantasy VII like within the top 20, and it makes sense. I mean, Final Fantasy VII is an amazing game, and like it really did like change the RPG world in a lot of ways. So, but yeah, it's also definitely like, I don't want to say overrated. I feel like a lot of people just say it's their favorite because it's like their first one they ever played.
Yeah, and I mean that has a lot to do with it.
And like even like because I feel like Final Fantasy VI, which was on the Super Nintendo, is far superior in story and gameplay.
Far superior. You want to get into Mando?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's finish off strong.
Yeah.
Have we talked anything about it yet? Have we said anything towards each other about it?
No. You mean? Just
no. We did talk about Luke if it was actually Mark Hamill and whatnot.
Yeah, we did talk about that for a minute.
You want to just jump in the meat? How do you feel about Luke Skywalker being in there?
I don't know.
Because I know what's interesting is like a while ago we were talking about is like it's finally a story outside of the Skywalker saga, and then there's Luke Skywalker. I'm like, oh, okay,
like never mind. I don't know. I kind of wish they had gone like with someone else. There's so many Jedi that.
Well, not at this time.
Well, I don't know. They're doing because from my understanding, they're doing this like branch off timeline.
Branch off timeline?
Yeah, like this other. Like you could have.
It's not an alternate timeline of Star Wars. It's like it's still in the Star Wars timeline.
No, but I thought it wasn't leading to.
No, it's still leading to Force Awakens.
Oh, it is. I read somewhere that it wasn't. But even
really,
yeah, I can't remember.
If you could find that article, please send it to me.
That's what I was reading somewhere. That they were gonna kind of like redo it, but who knows?
I highly doubt they would do that.
But I don't know. I wanted to. I saw a video. It was like a guy or somebody in a cloak with a purple lightsaber, like killing robots. Kind of like, I don't know if they just took that scene and then just made the lightsaber purple, but then they just took Samuel Jackson saying "motherfucker." Move, motherfucker! Move, motherfucker! Like, that's great. Out of my way, motherfucker! And I just thought that was really funny.
I think it's like it was the only way to end it, really. The the Grogu story. We're not going to see Grogu after this. Like, this is the end of this chapter for the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I mean, except for unless maybe season 4 something brings back with it, because I mean Grogu this is the end because it's the end of the arc for Mandalorian taking care of the child that he took in. You know what I mean?
So it's safe to assume that Grogu is going to go to the Jedi Academy.
A Jedi Academy that Luke is beginning to start.
What's on a moon of?
I mean, this could be the beginning for Luke starting the Jedi Academy, you know?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where his academy was.
Because, like...
Kashyyyk? A moon of Kashyyyk, I think?
I think it was a moon of Kashyyyk. It definitely wasn't on Kashyyyk.
It's not on Kashyyyk, but it's near Kashyyyk, if I remember. That's the Wookiee homeworld, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I remember correctly, they never really, like, put into the timeline when the Mandalorian series is happening, I don't think. Because they have no talk.
They give you an idea?
They give you an idea. You know it's post-return, obviously.
Yeah.
But they never really state how long it's been since the Death Star blew up or, like, how long the Empire has been in hiding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I don't feel like it can't be more than 10 years.
So with this whole storyline, too, the Emperor's still alive right now, right?
Technically, yeah, but nobody knows that.
Okay.
Because with Return of the with Rise of Skywalker, we find out the Emperor's been controlling everything. Ugh. Like, whatever. God, fuck that shit. Anywho,
I was thinking the other day, it totally removed a lot of the significance of Vader killing.
Yeah,
which I never really thought of.
No, it ruined a lot of things.
Yeah, it ruined a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah, the more actually I think about Rise of Skywalker, the more I kind of actually get really frustrated. But we're not talking about that right now. Yeah. We're talking about the Mandalorian. But like, it kind of like, it makes sense for it to be Luke, because as we're talking about, is like, who could it be? Like, what Jedi should it be? You know, and all this stuff. And like all the fans, it's just like it's like I feel like a lot of people were like the least expecting it to be Luke because we just weren't expecting. We didn't expect the Skywalkers to be around. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not expecting it to be Luke, but it's so fitting that for it to be Luke because there's no other Jedi that's as powerful as Luke Skywalker right now that would be able to probably even like channel or register that Grogu is reaching out to the Force.
Well, that's my point.
You know?
Like that we know of.
Yeah,
it would have been kind of cool if they had brought someone that you had thought had died in the Purge, but was still floating around.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's still Ahsoka, but she's also like she's renounced her Jedi not Jedi training, but renounced herself from the Jedi Academy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she doesn't identify as a Jedi anymore.
No, which, dude, man, you need to watch Rebels. She's so good in Rebels.
I get it. They get it. We all get it. Watch Rebels.
It's so good. So yeah, it just makes sense for it to be Luke. I feel like in a lot of ways, just like time, like where it is in the world, and also, I still have my feeling that it's kind of a dark side Luke. Kind of. I don't know, because Luke. I mean, because if I feel like Dave Filoni is trying to bring like a lot of the like Star Wars Legends, like what was from like the books and all of that stuff that Disney like retconned super hardcore. I think he's trying his best to bring as much of that back into the lore for the movies and whatnot. And very, very shortly after Return, Luke goes to the dark side for a short amount of time.
Yeah, that's why they're called Skywalker.
Yeah.
Right? They're always teetering.
Yes.
They're not left or right.
And like, even though, yes, it is what like the black getup is what Luke was wearing in Return. It's everything that it was 100% Luke's getup from Return.
Yeah.
So I feel like it can't be too much far from the end of Return, but there was that moment at the end where like, this is okay. I'm getting really into like nitty gritty missing scene for Star Wars. When Luke's like, he's wearing the black in Return of the Jedi because it's alluding to the fact that he could possibly turn to the dark side. So then when Vader finally throws the Emperor over the edge, Luke's flap on his shirt kind of opens up and you see the light in it, which means that there is the light side and still in him. Shut up. Shut up. You are staring so hard at me right now. So which would mean that by the end of Return, he would have like fully like accepted his time on the light side, and then there would be a costume change to represent that. But there was no costume change going into The Mandalorian. And I know Dave Filoni fucking thought about this shit, and so did Jon Favreau. I'm not out of my fucking mind. All right.
You sound a little bit out of your fucking mind.
I feel like I'm just like ranting on a conspiracy theory right now. A little bit of him, yeah.
Charlie Day with the whiteboard.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we got Martha over here. She's not getting her mail. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, also with that, like it's either just like a cool homage, like at the end of Rogue One when Vader came in and like wrecked all of the rebels, because Luke Skywalker just came on and then wrecked all of these droids that are super powerful.
I like that he kept the cloak over his eyes.
Yeah.
Search with your feeling kind of thing. That was kind of cool.
There was actually a little bit.
I don't know if they meant to do that.
It was like there was definitely a little bit of it where it kept making me second guess. I'm like, wait, maybe this isn't Luke. Maybe this isn't Luke. Maybe this is someone else. But it's like it's like the lightsaber, the hand. I was just like, no. I'm just like
the X-wing.
I was like, this has to be Luke. This has to be.
You see
Luke.
R2-D2 at the end, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Because R2 like leans over and like talks to Grogu, and then that's what it's like. Kind of R2, like is kind of like the final selling point for Grogu to go with Skywalker. Go with Luke.
Seen those memes? It's like, I swear to God, if I see a stick in his hand, I'm setting him out the airlock or something like that.
That's hilarious. The episode itself in the whole was really fucking cool, though.
Yeah,
we're focused too much on Luke. Let's talk about the entire episode.
I just didn't get her not taking the Darksaber thing.
Dude, that's just so, like... I mean, it's just Mandalorian code stuff that apparently she still follows.
Yeah, I'm like, but weren't you just giving him shit for being a zealot a couple episodes ago?
But, I mean, Moff Gideon has a really strong point with that when he says, like, he can't just surrender it to her. Because if if everyone finds out that she didn't actually win it in combat, that it was surrendered, then she's a fraud. Like what it's like, what gives you the right to take the Darksaber back if you weren't the one that won it back from the man that got it from you? You know
so
what I mean?
They have to fight. They don't have to kill each other, but she has to beat him.
Yeah, but like even like I mean that's also like they can just go like stage a fight where he just gives it up to her, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also like against like a Mandalorian code is like if you're gonna fight, you're gonna fight, you know.
Yeah.
Like he's okay to just like hand it over, but if it's actually gonna be a fight, he's like, well, I can't just like he can't then lose his respect of a Mandalorian in combat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it turns into a really interesting like dynamic. But I think there might be like he might actually be like maybe some chosen type of Mandalorian to like be like the leader of the Mandalorians, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this was the season finale, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
thought there was going to be another. I miscounted
looking.
everything, and I thought there was going to be another episode. But that was the final episode. His fight with Moff Gideon was super fucking badass with that Beskar spear.
Yeah, that was really cool. I was kind of curious how they were going to bring in him actually using that, and I had kind of forgotten about the Darksaber thing. But yeah, that was really cool. Does the Darksaber retract when you turn it off? Is it like a lightsaber, or is it just on? Is it just always erect?
It retracts. It retracts.
Okay. Yeah. That whole scene had like a lot of good tension with the robots.
Oh yeah. Dude, the robots were there was actually
the Dark Troopers. Is that what they were called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tension of them coming out was, especially like how fucking hard it took Mando to fucking kill one of them.
And there's like 15 of them. Or whatever.
Yeah, it's just like, Jesus Christ. Which also then shows how powerful Luke is when he shows up and just just cuts through him.
I mean, it helps when you have a laser sword.
Well, when you have a lightsaber and the Force.
Yeah,
you know?
like definitely gives you. I like, dude, that like he keeps using those fucking little needle things.
Oh yeah,
when he's like, they're like, it's really rare. Only use them when you absolutely need them, and he just fucking throws.
Apparently, he needs them a lot.
Yeah, which I was like, did you really think that was gonna work against those things? But I only thought I thought the timing of the robots being sucked out into space and then getting back to the ship, I thought that was kind of weird.
What do you mean? How like
it took a long time
for them to come back?
Just for them to turn on and then jettison back in up to the ship.
Yeah, maybe they just had a little bit of that like. They had a flashback to the old like robots, the Century robots, and that can work very well for, for the original Republic. You know, when they're like really like bad, they're like, "Oh, we're in space. What should we do?"
Oh, you mean the Roger ones?
Yeah, Roger.
Whatever they're called.
Century robots, right? I know they were for the Century. I don't know.
I mean, we kind of started off with the big thing at the end.
So,
there.
Yeah. Oh,
Mark Hamill looked good.
Yeah, whatever aging. I mean, he was on set for it, but they had like a body double for it. Like they had like a body double for it. So, because Mark Hamill, he's a little bit older. He's put on a little bit of weight. They can't really like take that away out of the suit, as we learned with Boba Fett apparently, and all the stupid shit that people were saying.
Yeah, that's I'm like, man, Boba, you did not age well compared to Luke.
Well, yeah. I actually didn't even really think about that.
Yeah, I thought of that. I was like,
oh well, whatever.
If this is right, because this would, I mean, that falls into is this right after Return?
Yeah, it's all right after Return.
So what happened? The fuck happened? Maybe living in a Sarlacc
dude,
pit?
that's Sarlacc pit. Direct Boba Fett, man.
Yeah, like
he went to the other side and came back. All right. Well, and he's just stuck on Tatooine, so who knows how much of that like weird milk he's drinking, just gaining weight.
Bantha milk.
Bantha milk, yeah.
Bantha milk. It's very fatty. I've heard that.
Very fatty. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm kind of. I mean, it's been about a week and a half since I've watched it actually, so I'm just kind of like forgetting.
I'm like, who else are they gonna bring back?
I mean, what's really cool was I really like the post credits. Did you remember seeing that?
I didn't know. Did they usually do post credits?
No, you didn't see the post credits. Oh no!
What is it?
Boba Fett going down into the Hutt's spot, and like since Jabba's dead, I can't remember his name, but the guy that had like his like
swirly head thing,
is now like the leader of the Hutt. Boba Fett comes down, fucking kills him, sits down in the Hutt's chair, taking it over.
Oh, that's cool.
So he's Boba the Hutt, essentially.
Do they all have post-credit scenes?
No, just they like.
I was like, I missed all of them.
No, this is the only one that had it. And then it says it goes to black, and it's the Book of Boba Fett coming soon.
Oh, so he's gonna have his own.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'm really excited. Boba the Hutt. That's what I keep calling it.
Boba the Hutt. That's cool. Can he be a Hutt?
I mean, he just fucking took over the Hutt.
No, but I mean, he's not the only Hutt. There's an entire crime family called the Hutts.
That's true, yeah. But I mean, wouldn't it make sense if you kill the leader of that syndicate, you take over that syndicate?
Yeah, I just don't know if you'd be tied to the
Hutt or
anymore.
not. Yeah.
You'd have to do your own.
I mean, he's definitely gonna run, dude. Also, like Boba Fett running his own like mercenary fucking like a syndicate. Holy shit, that'd be so cool. And it was also Fennec is with him. So like she freed the slave. So like the whole thing is like Fennec comes down, and then there's like the Twi'lek that's like chained up, and she shoots Twi'lek. Thank you. Shoots the chain, frees her. Like she shoots the chain, and the Twi'lek looks up at her, and she's like, "Go, get out of here." And like Twi'lek's like, "Oh fuck, okay." And then Boba like slowly comes down the stairs, and then,
oh man, that thing's dead too. God damn it!
What thing?
The thing Luke killed.
The Rancor?
The Rancor. I want to see a Rancor in today's like special effects.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I mean, there
cool.
could be more than one Rancor.
No, there is.
Yeah,
there is. It's you gotta catch it, or you gotta get one young. Because there's in I think one of the Knights of the Republic, there's a whole you end up on the planet where Rancors have come from.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, and I think you have to fight one.
That'd be terrifying.
Yeah, I think you have to fight one.
Yeah, I know. And then so Hutt, like he has like a quick little exchange with the Hutt dude. I gotta wish I could remember his name.
Oh, did I tell you I kind of got my wish about another Knights of the Old Republic game in a weird way? I started playing Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh, and is it just kind of like that?
It's the same studio.
Oh, okay.
It's the same kind of like more up to date, but it's similar kind of gameplay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, this
that makes sense because Knights of the Old Republic and even like Mass Effect, like their like choice system
it's BioWare.
Yeah,
it's the studio.
I never put that together actually.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, this is kind of fixing that like sci-fi itch thing that I wanted.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so I've been playing that on Game Pass.
Cool.
Yeah, but that just made me think.
Yeah, I mean, Boba Fett takes over, kills the guy, sits down. Fennec sits down next. Like he sits in the throne, and then she kind of sits on like the arm of the throne next to him with her gun, just kind of cleaning it. And like it's a really cool shot as it, like pulls away.
Are there any of those piggy creatures in that shot? What?
It doesn't seem like this guy was very much the party type like Jabba was.
Oh, he was a partier. Gusta easy.
Oh, Skywalker.
Yeah, he was great. Well, that's cool. Marvel and their fucking post-credit stuff. I'm surprised it's their first and only post-credit thing they've done.
I mean, I don't know what even like compelled me to stay for it.
That's random. Are you sure you didn't know about it?
No, I had no idea.
That's random that you just like, I'll sit through this one.
Well, I mean, I also was like sitting there like kind of crying from seeing Luke Skywalker and Grogu going away and like that whole thing and whatnot. You know how I get emotional, especially like Star Wars. Like, dude, Star Wars gets me emotional so fast.
You're the one I've seen cry at movies the most, I think, out of anyone ever.
Oh yeah, dude, because I just get so committed.
Just quiet in the theater when those are still around, and I just look over it. Are you fucking crying right now? Yeah, you dick.
I've cried a handful of times in the middle of Rebels already. I think it's like every other episode, maybe.
Something got me the other day.
Oh, yeah?
I can't remember what it was. You cried? No. Not. Allergies.
It's like, I don't even really notice it until like because you've called, like, you, when you hear
Family Stone. That's what it was.
Oh, you were telling me that, yeah.
I cried like a baby.
It's like, because, it starts me, I'm like, like I have that, like,
the shortness of breath kind of thing.
You're like, oh, it's coming. Oh, it's happening.
It's like a warning system.
All right. I think
it's time for wrap up.
I think it's good. Yeah, time for wrap up.
Okay, so we will let you go on with your evening or day.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening to our banter. What are you calling this now?
Banter, yeah.
Banter.
One of our banter episodes.
Thank you for listening to our banter episodes that has no points. Oh, what? Give out points and the points don't matter.
Very nice. way to wrap it together. Look at that. Look at that little button you did right there.
Thanks, everybody.
Look at this little Mike Birbiglia right here.
Join us and
next week. Okay, so I drew that movie 2 times in a row. Do we want to just do that, or do you want to draw something since I technically chose 4 rooms? Yeah,
it's a draw.
You want to do a draw?
I want to do a draw.
Okay. Do you have it with you?
No, it's in the other room.
Okay. Well, then
I'll put it on our posts.
You'll see it.
You'll see it.
Yeah.
So we'll once we're done here, we'll draw another movie, and we'll be doing mystery movie next week.
Yeah.
And so thank you for listening.
Yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, share our stuff.
Yeah.
Share our stuff.
Yeah. Share. Share our stuff.
Thanks for listening, guys. And if you got this far, who knows? Maybe you didn't. Maybe we checked you out with the stuff. Error 404.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Bye, guys.